Well, my presentation is about strategic planning for dummies, or should I say dumb lawyers. I don't mean any offense by that because I don't think anyone in this room is dumb. But the fact is, when we go to law school, none of our law schools actually prepare us to run a small business. And 80% of the attorneys that go out into a private practice are working for firms of 5 attorneys or less. So they do nothing to prepare us to go ahead and do the things that we need to do on our day-to-day life. So the best way to determine our goals is by looking at our future ideality and our present reality and look for the dissonance between those two items. In that way, you can help to start identify what's important to you, what is going to help you get from point A to point B. So let's look at the perfect future. You've been away for a few years, you've been sipping on a pina colada in Bora Bora, and you come back and all of a sudden you see law firm Nirvana. Here you come back, your clients see you as Gandhi, your colleagues see you as the Mick Jagger of practicing law in your area, and your staff feels warm and fuzzy about you. You're working 40 hours a week, you're golfing 20, and you're making $1 million. Okay, now it's time to wake up and smell the coffee, the harsh reality of what it actually is today. Actually, your staff feels more like it's a sentence than a privilege to come and work for you. Your clients see you more as the Grinch as they see a Gandhi. And finally, your colleagues perceive you more like Charlie Sheen than Mick Jagger. Winning. You're working 70 hours a week, you're golfing twice a year, and you're making about 75 grand. Now, you look and compare the dissonance between your ideality and your reality, and all of a sudden, it illustrates what goals are important to you, and it will help you identify how you're going to get from that point A to the point B. So, identify the goals that are important to you. But what you need to do when you're coming up with these high-level goals is follow a few rules. Number one, only come up with 4. Come up with 4 high-level ideas, because the fact is, ADD, when it comes to coming up with goals for the future, is not a good idea, and we all have a little of it in us. Secondly, you need to be smart about it. And when I say smart, it's a cute acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So it's very important that you follow these rules when you're setting your goals. Otherwise, you're going to set goals that you're never going to be able to achieve. So I want you to see how the goals are realistic. I'm just going to focus on revenue. Okay? I want to increase revenue by 10% by December of 2010. So it's specific. I'm saying exactly how much I want to increase revenue. It's measurable, exactly how much revenue I'm going to be able to measure. It's attainable. I didn't say $500 million by the end of next year. It's relevant. I'm here to make money. And it's time-bound, I said, by the end of 2012. So it's very important that you follow those rules. Now, remember, when you're turning your ideas into the reality, you need to get buy-in. I mean, Dorothy didn't get to Emerald City without the help of the Munchkins. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and get a bunch of vertically challenged people to help you attain your goals, but you need to get the buy-in of the staff that you're working with and all the people that your goals eventually impact, with your family, your staff, et cetera. So how do you do it? You brainstorm. You say everything that comes to mind. You stay general. Don't get into a huge debate about these different ideas about what you want to achieve. And it's OK to build off of other people's ideas. There's no such thing as stealing someone else's idea. And finally, moments of silence are OK. And in honor of that, we're going to take a moment of silence. No, we're not. So then the next step is to list your actions. You see, I listed a number of actions. Now, any actions that allow you to achieve any one of your high-level goals, they're OK to list on there. But it's more than just a one-step process, it's a two-step process. And what you need to do is determine, first of all, what actions are going to allow you to achieve your goals. And then secondly, you need to identify what effort or steps are necessary in order to achieve those specific actions. Now, for instance, world domination would be a great high-level goal. Unfortunately, when you get into it, you have to start assembling an army. You have to procure some plutonium. I mean, the ROI might just not be there in order for it to be worthwhile for you to pursue that. So when you analyze the actions and you go through the individual steps that you need to accomplish the actions, essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be able to identify the time, the energy, the resources, the money that are necessary in order to accomplish those actions. So be honest with yourself. Increasing your fees, maybe it'll increase revenue, but maybe it won't. Maybe you'll have a bunch of dissatisfied clients who don't hire you anymore. So you just have to be honest with yourself about how these actual actions are going to help you accomplish your goals. So then you plot them out on a chart. Essentially what you do is the The x-axis is the ability to implement, with the right-hand side being the most ability to implement, and the left-hand side being the least ability. And from bottom to top, it's the impact of those individual things. So some of the ideas that I had on there, maybe hiring a virtual receptionist is very easy to implement, and it's going to have a pretty decent impact. That's something maybe you should pursue. Running TV ads, you got to cut a commercial, you have to spend a lot of money, it's highly sophisticated, it's harder to implement, it doesn't have potentially as much impact, so maybe that's something you should abandon. You might have 20 or 25 things on that list, all plotted out with circles all over the place. So bottom line, you want to abandon the things that are not actions that are going to lead to achieving your goals, and that you're going to adopt the things that you do that are going to make you successful. So as a follow-up to getting investment of your staff, it's very important once you reach decide the actions that allow you to achieve your goals, give your staff ownership over those things. Make them feel invested in it. Have them report back to you on a regular basis. Measure the results very carefully, and don't be afraid to adjust your graph for things that are not leading you to the place where you need to be. So this is a 6-minute plan that's creating the type of business that's going to be rewarding for you, and hopefully a rewarding personal life as well. But it does take discipline, it takes hard work, and it takes fine measurement, attention to details, especially in the analytics around the key performance indicators. So how does this apply to technology? Well, technology is a tool for easy implementation. You can utilize technology to make accomplishing your goals that much easier. It's something that we're blessed with in our day and age. So I appreciate your time, and I've got those forms. If anyone wants to lay out the charts, I've got a whole bunch of them. Feel free to come up to me, I'll give it to you. Thanks a lot.